This video covers 3 of the most important things teachers should know about AI from a technical perspective. The first one is that AI is built by computers, not human. These large language models that power chatbots and other AI things, they look at the text and add a word at the end of the text, and then the next one and the next one, and they select the word that they think fits best to the existing text. But the big question is, of course, how do they know what fits best to this text? And the answer is that we don't know, because these AI models are not normal software that we can read line by line and see how the code goes and what decisions the program makes. Instead, there are like large blobs of messy code written by computers. And they're actually not code, more like advanced or really big arithmetic procedure where numbers are being added and multiplied to eventually blurt out something in the end that is interpreted as a word. And we have poor understanding of how these models actually reach their conclusions. For a single result, we can look deeply into these models and kind of figure out what happened, but we cannot be sure about the patterns of how they make decisions, and that means that we can't fully control their behavior, nor can we predict how they will behave in new situations, or even predict what kind of new capabilities we'll get from the next and next generation of AIs. And this, of course, puts some restrictions on how we can use these AI models when we can't really trust what they're doing. So that's the first thing you should know about AI. The second thing is that AI is advancing rapidly. In 2019, the best language model called GPT-2 could barely count to 10. And today, summer 2025, the best AI system have produced research hypotheses that match those of actual research teams in some cases. And this is advancements we've seen in barely 6 years, so it's moving quite quickly. And this speed of the progress is one of the most important factors when it comes to AI. I would say actually the most important factor, because we've seen changes in technology and society before, but never before, I would say, at this rate. Third and last thing is that connected AI can do more. It's kind of fascinating that you can chat with a computer in a chatbot, but it's what makes AI so interesting and so impactful is that you can connect these language models and AI models to other things. So they can go out on the internet and do stuff, use web services. They can use your local computer programs on your computer if you have certain settings. They can also be connected to machines, like controlling the ventilation in your building, or even control robots in some cases. And that is what makes made this AI wave so powerful that we're experiencing right now. And the simplest chatbots are merely a connection to a large language model and nothing else. We'll see this an example in a moment. But most chatbots today can do more. They can browse the web, search the web for different things. They can take files that you upload and do some other things as well. So here's an example just to make this point. We have here an old or very simple AI model, and I'm asking it for a research article that helps me understand how I can teach adults to read and write. And this AI model looks at what I've read and produces an answer suggesting this article called Adult Literary Instruction, a review of the evidence. Sounds interesting, so I go to Google Scholar in Swedish, sorry about that, and Google Scholar says that, sorry, this article doesn't exist. And that is kind of strange, but we'll see in a moment why this happened. And it makes sense when you know how AI works. If we instead shift to another model that has access to the internet and is capable of searching, which this one is, we'll get a completely different result. So I take the same question but a different model that has this connection to the internet. And while it's generating an answer, it's also searching the web to find stuff online, and then summarizes what it finds and gives it back to me in a summary. And also, of course, a link at the end so I can find the article myself and read it. All right, so what happened here? First, we have a chatbot that is just a pure large language model, nothing else. And when I give it a question, ask it to find an article, give me an article that I should read, it gives me an answer that looks like answers to these kind of questions usually look, because it's built to put words one after another in a way that fits the patterns of things it's seen before. So it gives me an answer that looks credible. And that is, well, it is a credible answer. It would have fooled me unless I actually looked and tried to find this article. But the second chatbot that is standard nowadays, it recognizes that this is a type of question that usually requires search. It doesn't blurt out an answer, but it recognizes that the normal pattern for this kind of question is to do a search. And I have these search capabilities, so I build a question that fits to how questions to, well, search queries to these kind of questions usually look. So it builds a question, a search query, performs the search, takes the text back that it found on the internet, and then continues to making a summary for me. And that, of course, is much more useful. All right, so in summary, number one, AI models are grown, not built. We don't know how they work really, and we can't really trust them. Number two, AI is improving at a very rapid pace. And number three, when you connect AI to other things, software and physical machines, they can do much more. And as usual, at the end of the videos, I'm going to give you an exercise. Now, I want you to compare two different language models. There's a place called lmarena. This could be interpreted as an I, but it's a small l, lmarena.ai. You can ask a question and get an answer back from two different language models. And I want you to ask questions in an area where you are an expert, and I suppose that is within teaching. And then look at the answers and vote on the answer you think is best. And reflect on what's their big difference, because you have some newer models and some older models, and that can produce a difference in quality. And they can try again with another question. All right, thanks for watching. See you in another video.